Yo, yo, everyone. How are we this morning? I assume I got a mic check. Yeah, man, can't come on without the intro music now. It's the walk up music, yeah? How's everyone doing this morning? My name is. You could not hear the intro music? Do I need to turn it up? Or are you just messing with me, LL? Uh, So right before Nate Bear went over in his time, I was hanging on to my trailer piece. Well, I had added a little bit back, but my trailer piece on the spy sniper from this morning that we took. Right, we basically bottom ticked this here and wrote it up. Took off like 37%. Left a trailer on, added a little more down here, and then right as I was waiting to come on because I wanted to take it off on the mic. And no, you were searching for trades. You're all good, man. I'm not trying to give you too much grief yet. I mean that will roll into the grief as the week progresses. And I was holding on to it because I wanted to take it off at 100% on the mic. Because it's a celebration of 100% winners, and I thought, how cool would it be to have that to have a 100% winner here right in the morning on day one. But I had my order in already at that 100%, and it triggered me out. So, but just a couple of minutes ago. But this is a great. I'm gonna at. I think I come back on at. Let's see, what time do I come back on? After lunch at 2 today. And I'll do a lesson on sniper trades. Essentially, sniper trades are a 0 DTE trade on the SPY or SPX. Anything that has options that expire that day. That's what 0 DTE means. And so I will go over that, do a detailed lesson, talk about the indicators that I use for it and whatnot. And that's the set lesson for the 1 o'clock. But that was a fun little trade today. I know a bunch of you hit it. I know LL. When I say LL, I mean Larry Livingston. He's a member in here who I've been trading with, and Nate and D-Man have been trading with for years. And so if Larry Livingston puts something in, pay attention to it because it's usually a fantastic idea. Unless, of course, LL loves gold. Yeah, LL cool G. uh, unless it's an idea that I've already put in here and he's stolen it. He does that a lot as well. So just, figure out whose idea it was first. I'm kidding. He's got great ideas. So put a 5 in chat if you are new here and so far this morning has felt like you are drinking through a fire hose turned on high. Oh boy, that's a lot of fives. Look at those things coming in. First off, welcome. We're super excited that you're here. I am the other Nate in this group. I am Nate G. I've been trading with Nate Bear and D-Man for. Yeah, you can turn the fire hose up and down. That's exactly right. For a number of years, we, as you'll find out over the next week. We tend to give each other a lot of grief, but it's all in good fun, and we'll just ramp that up as everybody starts to get comfortable with who we are and the way we trade. I tend to be the guy that's gonna kind of slow things down and try and teach some of the basics to those of you that are new in here. and try and explain it like, you know, in the most simplest terms, like we're all, you know, 10. But I think that that helps when things start going fast, especially during the open of the market. And you can start to kind of understand what it is we're doing and what it is we're saying, right? So if anybody has questions as we go along, I'm happy to answer those and kind of do it in a way that is nice and slow. Explain it like a fireman. My trading style, I like to swing trade, and with the TPS style of trading, which is Nate's primary edge, where we're looking for a trend and a pattern and a squeeze. I don't know if you guys have seen Nate and D-Man, if you've seen PLD yet. It's kind of an interesting looking chart. I was scanning for charts before I came on. This is, you know, these are the kinds of things we're looking for. We're looking for an uptrend. We're looking for, you know, a squeeze around moving averages, and we're looking to get this thing pick up, you know, option contracts around these moving averages and or around volume profile, which for some reason is not showing up on this chart. Which we'll do another lesson on. D-Man's going to do a lesson on supply and demand, I think tomorrow, which essentially is going to use volume profile, which is the stuff here on the side of our charts, right? This is basically volume by price versus, you know, volume by time down here at the bottom, which both are useful tools. But volume by price will give us support and resistance areas and supply and demand zones. So we will if you're not familiar with volume profile, we will get into that as we go along, and we'll do some detailed lessons on it. And then the another one of my primary, I do like to day trade. I like to day trade the 0 DTE options, which, you know, for a regular indice like SPYs, Qs, SPX, futures, those will expire. Basically, they're options that expire today, so you can get them for fairly inexpensive. And you can capture some quick movements, but you have to. There's a lot of things you have to be wary of, which is theta decay on a 0 DTE option is extremely ramped up. And that's the lesson I'll be doing this afternoon. But those are quick little day trades looking for about, you know, 25%. Sometimes you get, you know, upwards of 30 to 50. And if you really hit a good one, like I did this morning, you can hit 100%. But typically you're taking those off at about 25 to 30%. And so I was looking around before I came on, because this is the live trading portion, and part of being a trader, expect nothing less. I will not put a trade on unless I think I can get 100%, LL. That's not the norm, by the way, guys. I just, you know, it is a little easier, and what you'll find is basically the 0 DTE style of trading. You know, on a Friday you can do that with Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, like any option that has a weekly expiration, because by definition on Friday it is a 0 DTE option, right? But during the week you've got to do it on the indices, and it is a lot easier to, you know, get a higher percentage win on those kinds of option contracts because of just the way they move and the volatility that's expected there. I'm also trading Nvidia. I was picking it up off this bounce, at it again on the new low, and I'm just waiting to see if we're going to get a rebound here on Nvidia. And other than that, I came into this week flat. When I say flat, it means I didn't have any trades on in my, my regular trading account. Obviously, we all have long-term accounts and whatnot, but and the reason for that is in the last couple of into Thursday and Friday of last week, if you have been trading, the market kind of rolled over. It made a new high here on Wednesday. Let me get rid of my drawings here. Made a new high here and then just rolled over pretty hard. And so what that did was that broke a lot of patterns that we were in. Like we were trading bros, right? We were trading bros up here. Right? We were looking for bros to break out. And one of the nice things about using a platform like TradingView is that you can do kind of a replay feature, which I can take this all the way back to that Wednesday, right? And this is the chart we were looking at in Bros. This looked ready to go, so we were setting up positions in that. And as that played out into that Thursday, Friday, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Into that Thursday, Friday, right, the pattern itself just broke down, right? It was still intact here, but then it just broke down into Friday, as did a ton of things that we were playing into that. So when the market wants to take a turn and everything is dropping, it's really hard to to want to hold on to these names that have clearly broken. Like I'm imagining most of you can see that there was an earnings gap up here on Bros, and then the pattern really would have held until about that big thick yellow line. And then it just came into a full breakdown, which we'll get into psychology a little bit later into the week as well. And psychology is, a lot of traders that come in without a plan would see this break and not stop out because they're hoping, right? Hope is not a trading plan. They're hoping for a bounce. And they just watch their option contract just get decimated because they didn't have a clear plan of when to stop out. And so tomorrow I'm also doing a session on building a trade plan. That's an hour-long session. And it will talk about not only how to structure a trade plan and make sure that you have your levels in the correct areas, but it'll also talk a little bit about the psychology of, everybody can have a plan until they get hit in the face, right? And then what happens to you when you get hit in the face? Meaning when your trade plan breaks down, what's your plan? How are you going to handle that? Are you going to be disciplined enough to get out? Those kinds of things. So that's the reason I'm flat. I had a number of things on. I was also playing crowd into last week up into here, right? And it opened up, gapped down a little bit, and then just continued to roll over. Took this off on that Thursday. I was stopping out of a lot of things that I had on into that Thursday because the market just wanted to roll over. Simon, do I think Bros will bounce? It's hard to say. I mean, the market's going to have to cooperate. The Bros is a strong stock. If we look here at the daily, I mean, this thing is super strong. We came down and we sort of bounced off the 21. So yeah, I mean, it also beat earnings, right? So it was up. The question is, what does the overall market want to do, right? A lot of things were hitting new highs. And if the market as a whole is gonna have a correction, and when I say a correction, like look at I mean, look at the SPY. The SPY on Wednesday made a new high. Made a new all-time high. This is the daily chart on the SPY, right? Made a new all-time high, and then had a pullback. Is this a massive face-ripping pullback? No, this is just a healthy pullback, right? If the low we put in today, right, is the low of this pullback, we're still in an uptrend. Lower low, or lowest low, higher low, higher low, right? We're just moving within this sort of upward trend line, and that's a good thing. And as you know, the market goes through cycles as it moves up. It has to come back into support, right? It has to get extended. It has to come back down into a fair value area, and then it has to start moving back up again. Things just don't go straight up, right? And so, as long as we can see that we're in a healthy pullback, we're still maintaining our current uptrend, then that becomes a buying opportunity, right? So for those of you who want to know what I use for trading, I use TradingView here for all my charting. I think TradingView is an amazing tool. It allows a very flexible use of the different time frames that we like to use, which we'll get into in another session, right? I love to look at a 30-minute time frame. I look for squeezes on the 30-minute. I like it because it's got you're only in that trade for 1 to 2 days typically. Whereas if you're playing something on a 130 or a 195 or even a daily, you need to be in that trade for a couple of weeks. And I find that with my attention span or lack thereof, I like a shorter term swing trade. Sometimes these things work within the same day you put them on. A lot of questions on bros. You're still watching Nate Bear but listening to Nate G? I don't know how you're watching Nate Bear, but this is Nate Bear's screen and my screen look very, very similar. So I chart in TradingView, and then I trade, but I don't chart in Thinkorswim. I use Active Trader and Thinkorswim here. So those are the two things that I use to do almost all of my trading. Yep, Nate Bear he has a window that sits right over here that has his trades, his ticks and his VIX. That sounds funny to say it like that. I have my ticks and my internals on their own chart. So I have the ticks here on a large chart, and then I have the VIX. VIX is pretty volatile here, and the advanced decline over here. And so I toggle kind of between the two. I also have another screen up with this so that I can see it in real time. But this is my chart. So if you don't have TradingView and you would like a chart of the internals, I can share this with you. Does anybody use TradingView and would like an internals chart? Yeah, Buff Thinkorswim is Schwab. Okay, so let me share this internals chart. Internals chart for TradingView. There you go. So you have to click, if you use TradingView, you have to click that link. It will open this internals chart, and then you need to come up to this thing up here where you would pick the different types of charts that you want to look at, or you want to change your indicators or what have you. You're going to pull down and you're going to save it, right? And you're going to save it as whatever you want to call it. I call it internals in all caps. You can call it whatever you want, but you won't be able to pull back to it until you've saved it into your own TradingView charts. Yeah, and this is an actual this is the actual TradingView software. I'm not running this on the web. Trades in active trader. So, for instance, I mostly trade options, right? So I have two active trader windows open at all times because typically I want to have puts down here and calls up above. But this is the option chain this one's for SPY, right? And the way that I do that, let's say I wanted to do I don't want to, but let's say I wanted to do a 601 put on the SPY. I can right click it and I can send it to my lower bracket. And as I go there, down here now, this is a SPY put, the 601s, and then I can choose whether I want 1 or 3 or 5 or whatever contracts, and I can buy and sell right there. Okay, so and I can do that with anything. It doesn't have to be a 0 DTE option. I can no longer move this window, so that's weird. There we go. So I have those up and ready to go at all times. Cost looks pretty bearish. All right, I'm going to look at cost, and then I got to jump off because you got profit surge. Basically, I just sort of had time for an introduction, kind of learn who I am and how I trade, and then you'll hear from me again later today when we do a lesson on snipers. Yeah, cost does look pretty bearish. That thing looks like a shelf. And yeah. Man, and if it breaks there and then comes down into this 1018 area, 1019 area, and doesn't hold, look at this gap, this air down into, I don't know what that is, down into 1004. That would be quite a nice hit if that broke down through there. Yes, I can share my TradingView setup here real quick, and then I will jump off so Nate can do profit surge. Now, the screen's going to go blank, I believe, while Nate's in profit surge because that's not actually a part of this program. So Nate will do profit surge, and then there'll be a lunch break from 12:30 to 1, and then Nate's back on here from 1 to 2 on doing a minivan millionaire system, basically his TPS setup system, and then I will come on after that and do a lesson on sniper trades, and then D-Man has support and resistance. You can see that here. And then Nate Bear will close us out at the end of the day. So that's it for me. I'm excited for this week. I already got a 100% winner under the belt. I'm pretty happy with that. So I probably won't be too aggressive the rest of the day. But I'll be kind of scanning and looking for trades as we go along. And trying to find some good ones if this market can just sort of settle down a little bit and start to give us some setups. So I will talk to everyone later, and see you back here at 1 o'clock.